Nazis are probably the most famous political party ever. We are going to talk about how they came to be and how it happened, because it's kind of fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
You can't describe the Nazis without first explaining the political climate after World War One.
Yeah.
So you have World War One, and it is this pure stalemate for years on the Western Front. And then all of a sudden, and I'm talking about this from a German perspective, all of a sudden, it all just collapses. And
the war ends.
Yes, and what's even more alarming about it from a German perspective is that they would have heard the news about what's happened in Russia, which the Russian Revolution also happened during World War One. And if you're not aware, during World War One, Germany is fighting two fronts: the Western Front against France and England, and the Eastern Front against the Russians. The Russians capitulate because they're having their own crazy revolution. So all of a sudden, the Germans don't need to fight on one side. Great. So you'd assume, if you were German, from that perspective, that actually we're doing quite well. And oh no, the Americans have got involved. Whatever. We can deal with England and France. At the very worst, it will be a stalemate. And then all of a sudden, it all collapses and Germany loses the war incredibly quickly.
I think it's important to preface that in actuality, Germany was losing the war badly. It wasn't. It was a stalemate because it's trench warfare, so it's hard to take positions. But like the German people were being blockaded by the English. Like German national morale was incredibly low. The casualties, they had like 7 million casualties on the Western in total during the First World War, which is an insane amount of casualties. Like it's not sustainable
from a German soldier or just civilians' point of view. Yeah. Not all of that is going to be either common knowledge or talked about, because in propaganda you don't want your side to lose morale.
Yeah.
So from their perspective,
we're losing. Come join.
Exactly. That perspective is not what the average German has. The reason I'm talking from their perspective is that when this big capitulation happens, there is a small but growing sentiment that the Germans maybe not necessarily have lost the war naturally. But rather have been stabbed in the back. And this could be from many different sources, right? This could be from the left-wing, weak politicians that are currently in control of the government that are not doing well enough in this war effort. This could be from the communist disruptors that are starting to invade the society at a base level in the streets and whatever. And it could also be the corrupt Jewish bankers that are, in control of the money, in control of the finance, and they're worried that they are the ones that are actually ruining this for the, hard-working German people. This mentality, like I say, is small, but it is there, and in this kind of confusion and weirdness, and a bit frustrated with how this has all happened out of nowhere. Yeah. And that mentality is shared by a certain 29-year-old Austrian called Adolf Hitler.
A certain Austrian painter.
Well, they always say an Austrian painter. Yeah.